I am careful about what I believe. I accept ideas and beliefs that are in harmony with the principles of peace and unity. I am correct ideas and beliefs.
This is our third discussion of the universal social law called I am correct ideas and beliefs, one of the guiding principles of peace and unity. There are three areas critical to the success of the Black community in Africa and the African diaspora. They are culture, education, and economics. To have productivity in culture, education, and in economics, we must first organize and live according to universal laws represented by the guiding principles of peace and unity. I am correct ideas and beliefs is one of those universal laws used to create culture and social organization. If you're not familiar with the guiding principles of peace and unity, you can examine them on our YouTube channel and download them from our website. Links are in the description below. In our previous discussion about I am correct ideas and beliefs, we talked about humanity-based economics and its view of wealth. Today, we will discuss the importance of economic reciprocity. If you haven't seen our previous discussion, you can view the video called I am correct ideas and beliefs 1 and I am correct ideas and beliefs 2. I am correct ideas and beliefs is the universal law and scientific reality that unbiased facts and science should govern how you live life. It says that reliance on unbiased science and facts and verifiable facts guided by universal law will improve your life. Today we again discuss the verifiable facts related to economics. First, what is economics? Economics is about all the things we need to survive and prosper in life. It is land, water, air, sun, animals, minerals, and the human labor and creativity that turn those things into resources: food, clothing, housing, transportation, healthcare, and all the things you need. You and all human beings exchange your labor, skill, and creativity with each other to get those resources. That is what your dollars actually represent. You give your labor or use your skills and creativity to get dollars. You then exchange those dollars with someone else for their labor, creativity, skills, resources, and products. These exchanges are what help large numbers of people survive: your family, community, your nation, and the world. The problem related to economics is that people do not have an ethical, moral framework of universal laws to guide their economic activities and decisions. Today, economics operates in a way that says we should do anything to get what we need to survive, anything for $1. That we should take as much as we can, even if we don't need it, even if it takes away everything that others may need to live, even if we must injure and destroy others to get it. Economics is the cause of much of the harm that we do to each other. Almost every terrible thing that you see happening on our planet is about economics. Every racial conflict, every religious conflict, every ethnic cleansing, every war has underlying, often unstated, economic causes. Someone wants to take economic resources from someone else or destroy them for it. Human traffickers, kidnapping and selling people for enslavement and organ harvesting, economics. A government taking health insurance from millions of people, leaving them to suffer and possibly die, economics. Corporations putting earth-destroying fossil fuels or other destructive products into the air or onto our tables, or building nuclear energy plants that could destroy millions of lives if people make mistakes. Economics. Artificial intelligence used to replace human beings in the workforce and possibly cause human suffering and destruction. Economics. The economic path that we find ourselves on is destructive. But how does the Black community fight the ongoing economic stagnation that we are experiencing? Unemployment, underemployment, lack of community-owned businesses, lack of capital for self-investment and business development, not being able to support our own schools, hospitals, and other institutions, being pushed to do desperate things, including criminal activity, for $1 in economic resources. We propose that the Black community must organize its economic upliftment around universal laws and the ethical framework identified and represented by the guiding principles of peace and unity.
I meditate to relax in all situations. I am peace. I bring and keep together the families and communities who live in peace and unity with others. I am unity. I learn how to learn. I am knowledge. I create for myself, my family, and my community. I am power. I obey the laws of my family and community that are in harmony with peace and unity. I am law. I do no harm to my family, other families, or my community. I am protection. I choose the feelings, thoughts, and actions that are in harmony with the principles of peace and unity. I am control. I have fun and work with my family and my community. I am cooperation and harmony. I am careful about what I believe. I accept ideas and beliefs that are in harmony with these guiding principles. I am correct ideas and beliefs. With all my heart, I take care of my family, other families, and communities that are living according to the principles of peace and unity. I am devotion. I keep a clean body. I have clean habits. I eat healthy food. I exercise. I care for my environment and planet. I abuse no substance or drug. I am strength.
Our position is that organizing our economic upliftment around the universal laws and the ethical, moral framework identified and represented by the guiding principles of peace and unity will subdue the worst of our economic behaviors and create sustainable economic prosperity and expansion for everyone. We call economic activity based on these universal laws humanity-based economics. Now, humanity-based economics is a mindset and an approach that says the primary purpose of economic activity should be to assure the prosperity and well-being of human beings and the living earth. That during our economic drive for survival, we must care about what happens to the children, women, and men and families around us. The first behavior causing the Black community's economic stagnation is the failure to buy from each other and sell to each other. We discussed this in I Am Correct Ideas and Beliefs video number 2. The second behavior causing the Black community's economic stagnation is a failure to live by the rule of economic reciprocity. What is economic reciprocity? In common language, it means if I scratch your back, you will scratch mine. If you scratch my back, I will scratch yours. For example, if we are buying products from Company X, and Company X is generating 20 to 30% of its profits from our purchases, Company X must practice economic reciprocity by employing us, or by doing business with our small businesses so we can employ ourselves, or by supporting organizations and institutions that serve the needs of our communities, or by doing some combination of all of these things. In that way, the dollars that we spend on Company X's products or services don't simply fly out of our community to enrich someone else's community, create jobs for someone else, and create small businesses for someone else, and support the institutions of someone else. Black communities host many small and medium-sized businesses that take dollars out of our communities when we spend it with them, but refuse to employ us, do business with us, or contribute to our communities in any way. Members of the Black community purchase products and services from major corporations. Many of those corporations refuse to employ us, do business with us, or contribute to our communities in any way. This is not the fault of the small businesses and the medium-sized businesses and even the major corporations. This is the result of our own wrong thinking and ideas about economics, or our failure to even think about economics and the consequences of our behavior. True wealth is when the businesses that we buy from reciprocate by buying from us, or employing us, or supporting our service organizations. That is, the largest possible number of people in our community can have dollars if we do that kind of work. And that's what we need to survive and prosper. The money that circulates through our community is then used by our people to build businesses, schools, and other institutions needed by our people. By controlling the movement of money and the supply of resources in our communities, we have greater wealth. Economic reciprocity is the second path out of the economic stagnation in which we find ourselves. It is part of humanity-based economics. So first, we must learn to buy from each other and sell to each other, almost exclusively. Second, we must require and expect economic reciprocity from outside businesses that we do spend our dollars with. These are critical economic rules for the Black community and are the best solution for the economic problems facing our millennials, Gen Zs, their children, and all the children to come. But for humanity-based economics to function, we must live according to universal social laws represented by the guiding principles of peace and unity and its foundational premise: do good, do no harm. Why? Because before we can work together economically, we must make ourselves peaceful and harmonious toward each other. We have seen that the drive for economic survival and prosperity are very destructive. Also, we must put this moral, ethical framework into our minds and hearts so that we can judge whose behaviors and actions are good, and we may be able to support them. So we can judge whose behaviors and actions are destructive towards us, and we may need to avoid supporting them. These are the foundations upon which the Black community can build economic success and prosperity. This is what the universal law, I am correct ideas and beliefs, asks you to do. Of course, you can watch our previous presentations about the guiding principles of peace and unity on Facebook, YouTube, even Instagram. You can also download them from our website, as I said earlier. Links are in the description. Please watch the following video. I have a very short following video. It will help you understand better how humanity-based economics works. Until I see you again, do good, do no harm.
Our key to economic survival and prosperity. Number 2, economic reciprocity. Economics is how the people in your community use the earth's resources, vegetable, animal, mineral, to survive and prosper. We get these resources through trade or by using money. Economics is like a circle. When individuals in your economic circle buy from each other and sell to each other, that money can be used to create jobs and businesses. That money can be used to create housing and schools. That money stays in your circle and in the hands of your people so they can buy food, clothing, housing, and education. You should be buying and selling to each other almost exclusively. That is the first and most powerful form of wealth creation. That is what all people do. When you don't buy and sell within your economic circle, you create poverty in your community. That is not to say you can never buy from people outside your economic circle without creating poverty in your community. You can, if the people and companies that you buy from practice economic reciprocity. So what is economic reciprocity? Economic reciprocity is when people or companies that you buy from agree to also buy from you. That way, your dollars can flow into their economic circles to create wealth, and their dollars can flow back into your economic circle to create wealth. That is the second form of wealth creation. Economic reciprocity can also be created when people or companies from outside your community that you buy from provide substantial, high-paying jobs for the men and women in your community. That is a third way for your own dollars to flow back into your economic circle to create a lesser form of wealth. Finally, economic reciprocity can be created when people or companies from outside your community that you buy from donate or support organizations and institutions that benefit your community economically and socially. That is a fourth, but least effective way for your dollars to flow back into your economic circle, but this creates a lesser form of wealth. Our economic survival and prosperity depend first upon us depending on ourselves by buying and selling to each other. But it also depends on establishing fair and substantial forms of economic reciprocity between our communities and the people and companies we buy from.